All right, it's March 4th, a Sunday here in North Carolina, Easter, and I'm standing here in Dan Nicholas Park here, not far from Salisbury, North Carolina. You're looking at the TM Standback Barnyard here in Dan Nicholas Park. Got a lot of things to do here for the kids. Most of them are not open right now, but they will be soon. They got this Stonehenge looking water park for them to play in right here in the middle. Off in the distance is a merry-go-round in that building. It's not open right now. They got the doors closed on it. They also have the Hurley train station, throw-in wildlife adventure, and a lot of trails and hiking to do around here. They got a map right here showing you where everything is. Today I'm going to walk the Dan Nicholas Park Trail, 2.5 mile trail. No, yeah, I think it's 2.5 miles, something like that. We're going to walk that and check this park out. It's a beautiful day, and I believe it's going to get really crowded as we move into the afternoon. I see a lot of people filling in the shelters now. So we're going to look for this trailhead and get started. Okay, I'm standing right here on the Carolina Thread Trail. That's part of this park, right here at this bridge. It's right on the lake that is part of this park. You can paddle boat out there and fish. A lot of fun things to do there as well. I haven't found any sign naming the trailhead for the Dan Nicholas Park. I got all trails on my phone, so I'm looking at that. So this is part of it, and it's right behind their new visitor center here, I guess is maybe what they're building right there. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start walking on it. I know it goes around the lake and then it peels off and cuts out, makes another longer loop. So maybe there are two separate trails altogether. Anyway, let's get started. It's a beautiful day here in Carolina. Beautiful blue skies. About 65 degrees with a little wind. The sun's out, it feels good. All these animals over here are still sleeping. Heads curled up. Guess they had a big night last night. I don't know. They look good and fat and happy. That one there's so big he can't even hardly walk, it looks like. So he's living good. For the part around the trail is going to be a combination of concrete and dirt. But as always, I'll film sections of the trail as I go along, and we'll make comments. I always do that as I'm walking. So I hope you enjoy this walk with me. Let's cross this first bridge, and then I'll get up with you a little bit further down the trail. We're walking past their paddle boats now. This section here is right behind the concession stand. As far as the trail goes, it's not well defined yet. There's no blazes marking it. We'll continue on. Okay, there's a look back at the way we just came. There's the paddle boats again. Off to my left is the Hurley train station that I showed you when we started. Got a lot of birds up there in those bird houses they built for them. You'll see a lot of nature along this trail, I believe. Pan around, let you see another good view of the lake. Getting a little mist from that mountain. The wind's blowing. Fountain. The wind's blowing straight toward me. But it feels pretty good. I think we'll be all right. So this is the part of the trail that continues around the lake, and I think there's a trail off to my right up ahead. I think that's going to be the trail we want to take to do the Dan Nicholas Park Trail. Now here's a trail off to the right. There's no marking or anything so far. The only reason I know the trail was here because I have my All Trails app that showed it, but I do see a sign over here now that says allow 2 hours to hike, no when park closes, but they don't give it a name. I'm pretty sure it's called the Dan Nicholas Park Trail. They don't really tell anything about it, but anyway, let's do it. See what this little trail has to offer. So we're out in the open field now, a little grassy field. No trail really, but I do see a sign on the other side of the field that has a big yellow arrow, says trail on it. So we'll head over there, keep following it. So far I'm not impressed with their signage, but you can figure it out. As you can see, the trail says Carolina Thread Trail. So I guess the Dan Nicholas Trail and the Carolina Thread Trail are together, I'm assuming. Like I said, there's nothing to say nothing that says Dan Nicholas Park Trail, which is the name I saw on the All Trails app when I was coming here today. So far I haven't seen anybody on the trail. Everybody's up there in the park. Most of them are with their families with one of the reserved shelters getting ready to eat. It's a great place to come do that, I believe. It's quiet as a walk off from the crowd. See, there's a little creek down there, a little swampy area for the animals. That's nice. This Carolina Thread Trail, I believe, is supposed to go all over the state at one time. I've seen a little bit of info on it, but I think it's just in sections now. They don't connect like this part's a section. I think there was another section up in Pilot Mountain, or maybe it was Hanging Rock State Park. That might be the Mountain of Sea Trail I'm thinking about up there, but in Gold Hill I know there was a section up there, Gold Hill Mine Historic Park. So got these little numbers that says 2 on it. I don't know what that means. We'll keep going. And they have a bridge here to cross the creek. I don't know what this little post is with this metal on top. Anybody knows what that's for, let me know. Yeah. Nice little creek that runs down through there. So yeah, it looks like they're going to have nice bridges for you to cross when you get over the creeks and things. As you come off the bridge, the trail's going to split and go left or right. Just a loop trail, so it doesn't matter which way you go. I'm going to go to the right. Saw a couple that went left just a minute ago. I guess the main way to go is supposed to be to the left because it says end of loop trail there, but I'm going to do it backwards. Trail's fairly wide the whole way, it looks like. Well traveled, like most trails that are close to major cities. This is going to be an easy hike for anyone. It's flat. Got a little ups and downs in it, but I think anyone can do it. Got some roots so you don't stump your toe and trip on them, but other than that, it's a nice walk. This reminds me of the woods I grew up in as a kid. Played in those woods all the time, and this is the kind of forest we had. We had a creek in the back, a little swamp area called Turtle Swamp. Played in that creek all the time with my buddy. Swim in it when it got flooded. It's just dangerous thinking back on it, but yeah, we did it and had a good time. I think a lot of kids don't get out enough these days. You know, if you live in a big urban area, it's hard to find woods. I lived out in the country, farmland and all that. But if you do live in areas where the kids can't do that, you know, definitely bring them out to these parks that are close by. Take them out even further, go to the mountains, do those parks, go to beaches. We've got parks all over the state. You can see as we walk that we're following the creek down there in the wetlands area below. You can see where the grass is green down there. We're kind of on the hill above it. So imagine we'll walk out a good little piece, maybe cross it at some point up the trail here. They've done a good job of keeping the trail cleared of any trees that fall. You see where they come through with chainsaws and cut those. The fallen trees are important to nature. You can see them rotting away right there. Insects and all kind of micro life that we don't see on a daily basis use that and live there. It's amazing the amount of life that is around us that we can't even see, even on our own skins. We don't like to think about it, but there's life on our skin that we can't see. If you watch some of those shows where they take a microscope and blow it up, look like little creatures living on you. But they have a purpose there, and they help keep us protected one way or another. I'm not sure exactly how. I haven't studied up on them enough, but maybe you know. Comment below and let me know how those small life forms help us. There's another bridge coming up in the distance. I imagine if it was raining hard, that area would probably be flooded, and you might have to get your feet wet a little bit. But today, it is good. You can see where it floods up. That's it, making its way down. Yeah, it's nice down here. Quiet too. I thought it'd be a lot lighter. I can barely hear cars off in the distance. This is the first little sign I've seen today that told you about the trees. And I was talking about these signs. I think they should have them up in all the parks. I was on Crowder's Mountain the other day, hiking up there, and I thought they should have the trees marked like this, because when you're walking, it's a good way to learn the trees. That's the American beech, right there. Salisbury Lions Club did that. But yeah, you can look at the bark in the wintertime, learn that, and then spring comes on, those leaves will pop out and you can learn about those as well. That's why they showed the leaf. So I'm climbing one of their grades now. Not bad at all. Like I say, there's no real climb here at all. Just past another couple with a dog. So most of these trails I've hiked in these local parks get mainly used by people walking their pets, and that's good. You don't want to have a pet, keep it locked up in a house all day and take it out for 10-minute walk down the road and then put it back in the house. Or leave it chained up in the back or in a small cage. I mean, if you're going to have a pet, make the pet part of your family, like these people did. So the creek's off to our right now. There's a sign down that says, sign down there, half of it says something range, or entrance, I guess, not range. They probably need to come down there and get that out of there. So far the trail's been clean. Some trails we walked not as clean. Crowder's Mountain the other day had water bottles all off the cliff and some trash along the way. I didn't like that at all. No sense in that. So here's a look back at the way I just came. That little sign's in the creek off to the left, but they got this little post here with an arrow. If you're coming this direction, it points to the left to go over that bridge. But the loop to me seemed like it, you're coming around from the right. I mean, from that direction right there. So it's a little confusing, but All Trails says to go this way. So I don't know, maybe that's just a cut through there. It didn't make any sense. If you were coming the way the other couple went, they would turn left instead of going back to the entrance. All right, the signage definitely needs to be improved. I can see people getting confused. Another bridge here, Boards are getting a little worn out from weather, but all in all, it seems sturdy. So here again, I see these blue signs, but they look a little different than before, and there's a trail that goes along the creek. So I don't know. Could be that I'm on the thread trail. Yeah, signs all wore out. We'll walk up this way. I see a bridge off to my left, so I have a feeling it just loops around. Look how that log is hollowed out on the inside. So yeah, animals use that. They can go up in there and live. Looks a little blackened like it burned at one time. There's something crawling around down there. Now it could be a snake up in there. I don't know what kind of animals would use that, but mostly insects, I imagine, not animals. I saw a snake the other day up at Mara Mountain. You can see that, I guess, growing off the log there. Fungus, I guess. Moss. There's a look back down the trail. Just the way I just came. There's that blue signage again. This time it says 15 on the tree. I can see a Carolina Thread Trail marker blaze. So maybe I should know what those numbers mean on the blue blazes, but at the beginning of the trail they have no information. They should have a sign telling you what's what. And maybe they do somewhere, but it wasn't readily available from the way I came. And I looked all around. So I guess you need to probably go up to their visitor center when it's finished and get one of the pamphlets. That probably tells you all about it. So as I walk this part of the trail, you can hear the traffic off to my right. We're right up against the road now. I can see a house up there. Here's another one of those signs to help you learn the trees. This is the bitternut hickory. And they got the scientific botanical name below it. Too much for me to say. Just a country boy. I think I'll stick with bitternut hickory. Yeah, it shows the leaves there, and then you can look at the bark, which is always different on each tree. Got some briars around this one, so I imagine if spring comes on out, that's going to be a little difficult to get to if they keep spreading. You can see as we walk that some of the trees are already starting to get their leaves up in their canopies. Tree here off to the right looks fresh fall there. Winds must have took it out. That happens sometimes. It's nature. The ground's been really wet this winter, so it doesn't take much of a wind to blow one over. Yeah, it's beautiful out here today. I'm really enjoying this. There's another one. Cherry bark oak. You see how the leaf pattern is different there. Got some acorns. They show the little branches there as they're budding out too. Yeah, I really appreciate the Salisbury Lions Club for doing that. So I need to learn my trees better. Learn what the wood can be used for. On my blog site, I do have a post about trees and how the wood burns for survival situations, or just any situation where you want to burn a campfire, how they burn, how long they burn, things like that, what they can be used for. Well, it's always good to know. There's a black oak. And again, they do the leaf pattern and the acorn and then the limb there. There's your black oak. Leafing out for you here this spring. Yeah, this will be a nice shaded walk when all these leaves fill in. I think in my future hikes I'll try to cover more information about the landscape, the trees, the mushrooms and plants, all the things that I need to learn, everybody needs to learn really. There's a YouTube channel called Adventure Archives. Those guys go on hikes, and one of the guys in it, he really knows his stuff, and he talks about the mushrooms and the plants you can eat along the way. I'd like to get good enough to do something like that. If you're interested in stuff like that, check their channel out. There's some young guys that's been doing it a long time, and they create their own music for their videos as they walk. They really do a real good job on the production of their videos, and they're kind of funny to watch as they talk and sit around the campfire together. I think you'll enjoy it. Got another sign down here. Let's check this one out. Northern red oak. Yeah, I believe that was a northern red oak that I saw in Boone's Cave State Park. And dropped my sunglasses, better get them in a minute. Yeah, that was a huge tree. It was on a fence line out there, and it never got cut. And so it's a big tree. I'd love to walk through an old forest like that with those big trees. I mean, trees were even bigger when I was younger. You know, there weren't a lot of trees cut down in the area I live, but now they're all gone. All those oaks just about are gone. Yeah, here's that bridge we saw earlier as we crossed, where I looked at the trails. Told you there was a bridge up there. There's that trail that cuts through, I guess. Those purple buds coming out, that's pretty. Some signs up here, let's see what they say. Most signs I've seen so far. It says pine forest that way. Pine forest, there's pines all through here. A little shortcut trail, yeah, it goes back. Loop trail, they don't give anything any names. To trail entrance and lake. I don't know. Let's go on straight. See where it ends up. Splits again up here. Just make your own way trail, I guess. Let me stop here and look at all the trails, see where I'm at on the trail. So we're still good. I'm going to take a right. That's probably just another shortcut back down the other side. Another blue blaze, so I'm on the right trail. This part of the trail here is a little bit noisier than the first part for some reason. You hear a dog off in the distance. But you can hear the crickets. A frog, that's probably a frog. Yeah, down there around that creek. Stopped, he must have heard me coming. I like the way that creek runs down the hill there. There's a road over there. I don't know what that goes to. First bench I've seen on the trail so far, so I do give you a place to see it, but it's not a long trail, you'll be okay. Off in the distance I see a placard on that tree down there, so maybe the trail's going to turn. Well, it looks like there's a trail down low there that comes off in another direction. I'll go down there and check that out if this trail don't turn back. So yeah, here we are at a placard again, and the trail splits. So I'm going to take a right. I've been taking a right the whole time. I don't know why they have so many cutoffs through the middle. So as you get down closer to the creek, there's going to be some steps. I imagine if you take the trail the way that the arrow pointed at the beginning, you'll have to climb these steps, but they're not bad. Just a few steps. There's another sign down there for a tree. We'll take a look at that. What tree are we going to learn now? See that? Oh, so I thought it was in the tree. Sometimes you'll find barbed wire growing into a tree from a farm. But anyway, that's a white ash tree right there. Or don't look too good right there in the creek. You can see how the roots have blocked the little scum on top, and it's clear down below. We'll go back, follow back this way. Got a little rock crossing here. Got a nice arrow to tell you to turn right. Turn right. Do not climb steep hill across the creek. Glad they put that there. Man, what would people do? All right, let's continue on. I see another blue blaze up ahead. There's a look back from the direction we just came. There's another split here. It says 9 on that blue blaze. The arrow says to take a right. And it's saying that because there's a trail that comes in from the right. Maybe that just comes down from some houses, I'm not sure. I'm going to take a left because I do see another tree placard. Crossing the creek right here. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to try something with my camera. I got it on wide now, but I can go to ultra wide. I'm going to film the rest of this on my ultra wide setting, and maybe you guys can let me know in the comments which way you like it better. Let me shut off for a minute, then I'll turn it back on. Okay, that's in the ultra wide setting now, as you can see. So you get a little bit wider view there. But I don't know how it's going to do as far as me walking. It may look a little more shaky. I'm not using a gimbal or anything. I just use the stabilization in my phone. So I'm trying to walk the best I can to keep that roll out of it. You guys let me know if it's better on wide or you like it on this ultra wide here. So it looks like we just did a little loop trail because we're back where we started. There's that chair over there and there's the creek down there. So I guess I was supposed to go off to the right to follow the other trail. So we'll do the steps again, take off to the right. We're coming back up on the intersection again, where I showed you that tree and talked about the old cedar tree. I didn't see all these names people carved into the tree here. I used to do that too when I was a kid, but I don't think it's good for the tree. They seem to do all right on it, but still. Anyway, I guess if you're coming the other way, you'll have more signage. You know, I'm walking it backwards, but you'd have missed the little creek section if you did that. So I don't know why I have it that way. Anyway, moving on. Some little flowers right here. They managed to survive right in the middle of the trail. See some bees too. If he goes in a hole there, I don't know. He is. I think he is. I don't know if that's a yellow jacket or not. Can't tell. Anybody know? I don't know why he'd be digging in that hole like that. Here's a placard they have with a shortleaf pine, southern yellow pine. Got a little bit more information there on the bottom on this placard. Yeah, but that's it. That's the one we looked at back there a minute ago too. All right, so how you guys liking that extra wide view? Is it better, worse? Let me know. Also, I just switched to I used Filmic, I think that's how you say it, app to film with, and I had it on extreme resolution, and I backed it back down to the normal. I want to see what the difference was there as well. So if you guys are watching this on something with high definition, you see a difference, let me know. If not, I'm just going to go back to the lower resolution so it doesn't use so much memory on my iPhone. That's what I shoot these videos with. Here's another tree placard right here, but you can see it's worn out. It needs to be replaced. It's probably for this big tree right here. All right, let's go on across the bridge here. These tree markers seem to be getting closer as we go around. Yeah, but they're faded out now. They might even be for the plants in the front of it there. I'm not sure. Let's look at this one. Yeah, so those, like this one's for the American holly. There it is, that's American holly. So that's good to get the plants and the trees. American sycamore tree. That's a big tree too. Got some width around it. Hopefully they'll let these trees grow from now on. One of these years it'll look like an old growth forest again for future generations. Here's another one for the scarlet oak. You can see its leaves haven't started to fill in yet. These trees beside it have. So I guess they got different time frames for when they like to leaf out. Placards are coming at me fast and furious now. Should have just left the camera on between those two. Sugar maple. You notice how the leaves are a little different, how the points are. And the bark, that's how you're going to tell the difference between trees. Coming up on another plant placard, I believe. Another holly, American holly. I guess those plant placards are out here before the trees because they look older and they need to be replaced, updated. Two more here. This tree's got some size to it. Yellow or tulip poplar. That's a big tree. It's been growing off this old beer can stuck in the ground below it. Some more plant placards. Willow oak. I don't know which tree that is. It's not this one in front of it though. It's a cedar tree. Red cedar right here. This is interesting. The trail goes that way, but they got an old bridge down here. I guess if it's not safe to cross anymore, they probably should just take it down. That looks all right to me though. It looks pretty strong. I'm not sure why they ended it there and changed the trail, but they did. There's the other bridge down there. I don't know why they did that. Seemed like a little waste of wood to build the bridge. A new bridge when they got that one they could just repair. What do I know? Little bench. Anyway, we're coming up to the intersection again to go back out to the lake. So I'm going to cut it off here and get back with you up at the lake. I'm crossing the field now where we started. If you go to the right, I can see the campers up there. So if you're camping, just come down this little dirt road and that's the start of the trail for you. There's the lake off in the distance. We're going to cut through these trees, take a right and finish the trail out where we started. So from this point on, this trail is just going to go around the lake. There's the bridge across the lake where we started. Just look back. So I'm going to walk it on around and I'll pick it back up when I get on the bridge. Decided to give you one more look as we walk past the campground because the trail came in closer. You can see those sights better now. Yeah, the lake extends off a little bit further down than I thought. Got another wooden bridge down there for us to cross, and then we'll be back up at the meadow one. Yeah, great little campground, great little park. Here's that wooden bridge that crosses back over the lake. You can see up the lake now. There's that metal bridge up there on the right. I don't know what kind of tree this is growing out of water like this, but that's kind of cool. I like that. Reminds me of a swamp. Yeah, I think if you wanted to reserve one of these shelters for a picnic for your family, I'd pick one of these back here on the back side of the lake. It's more isolated and you'll have it more to yourself, and you'll be right here on the lake if you want to fish or write stuff in the dirt like these kids have. So here's another one of those metal rings around a post, and this one's got a birdhouse on top. So I guess that ring is to keep maybe snakes from coming up there and getting the eggs out this spring. Okay, we're back where we started here, this bridge that crossed the lake. Yeah, Dan Nicholas Park. A great park with hiking trails. They got the train you can ride, merry-go-round. They got the petting zoo and wildlife exhibits along with that little water park that looked like Stonehenge. So come on out here, bring your kids, a good learning opportunity for kids to learn about the plants, the trees, and animals. Great resource for homeschoolers as well. Hope you enjoyed this walking tour of the park and the hike along that trail. It's been a beautiful Sunday afternoon here, Easter. Hope you had a great Sunday as well. If you enjoyed this tour, like, subscribe, and share. Y'all take care.